Okay, now that we have the variables and the images ready to go, we need to add the code logic. So the first thing we're going to do is import the graphics, which we do here in load content. So we'll just come down right under font, start with the first one, dots x underscore neg underscore, and these can be loaded in any order, but just going to start with the negative maximum is equal to content dot load. Should be getting pretty familiar. Less than, and these are texture 2Ds, and greater than, and open parend, and double quote, and images directory, and our slashes, and the name for this first image is x underscore neg underscore max, and double quote again, close parend, semicolon. Now let's skip ahead, and here they all are. There's the y's at the bottom. Let's save it. There's the x's. These are, of course, all in your book, so that's good. There they are. Next, we need to set the text for the labels, and we need to set the specific images to use. So we do that in the set text values method. So there it is. All kinds of stuff in there already. So we'll come down to the bottom. And there we are. Okay. Now, first we're just going to enter the label information. That's kind of the easiest. So let's see which one. You can do any of these first. Let's do the mouse rel x positive label 01 is equal to, and just set this to 10. And mouse rel x underscore negative label 01 and set this equal to -10, which that's it's going to be just inside the maximum, so that's fine. And then mouse rel y positive, and that'll be 10, and mouse rel y negative, and that'll be -10 also. Okay, so there are those. Okay, and now let's save this. All right, now we need to place the values, those relative values, in variables. We have the variables, so we can do this. So we've got mouse rel pos dot x. Remember, this is a vector 2, so we have a dot x and a dot y. So that's going to be equal to mouse underscore 01, which is the current mouse position, dot x minus mouse underscore prev, just above there, dot x, and that's it. So semicolon. Now mouse rel pos dot y equals mouse 01 dot y minus mouse underscore prev dot y, semicolon. Okay, and there are those. And now we're ready to do the actual conditional logic. So if mouse rel pos dot x is less than, and we're going to pick some number, so we're going to say -10, so that makes it like the negative maximum. So we're going to open a curly here, and we're going to say dots x, so that's the value, that's the texture 2D that the actual one we're going to use is going to go into, and we're going to set this equal to dots x underscore negative, which is neg underscore max. So we're going to take that particular image and put it into the dots x. And then we're going to say else if. So if that condition wasn't met, we get to this next one. So we say else if mouse rel pos dot x is less than -9. Remember that we only get here if it didn't meet the less than -10. So we're going to then set the dots x equal to dots x underscore neg underscore 10. And there's that. Okay, there's our first two conditions. So we'll zoom ahead. Okay, and here we are. Here's the last one at the bottom. It's all of these, and of course these are all in your book, but it's just one after another, one unit, all the way up through the zero into the positives, into the positive max, which if it was not less than any of those values, then we got all the way up to the dots x positive max. So now here's the next one, and this is just really a repeat of what we just did with mouse rel position dot y. So if it's less than -10, then we'll open our curly here, and we'll say that our dots y variable is equal to dots y underscore, and that's going to be negative again because we're back to the negatives, and this is the negative max. And semicolon, close that curly. Now we're up to else ifs again, so we'll just skip ahead, and there they all are. That's the exact same thing in the y's. So that has now resolved, based on what the actual relative position is, what image we need for the dots x and the dots y to make it all work. So that's it for what images we need. Now we can set the positions. So we'll save it, and we'll come up here and select set text positions. Really not text positions, but that's what our method is named, so that's what we got to live with, at least for now. So we'll come down here, and we'll set dots x underscore pos dot x. And I've worked these values out in advance, but if you were doing this on your own to begin with, of course, all these positions you'd need to do by trial and error or close guesstimate, whatever, but these positions should work. So there's the dots x, pos x and y. So now here's dots y underscore pos dot x. And dots y pos dot y. Okay, there are those. And now let's add the label positions. So mouse rel x and we'll do the positive label 01 underscore pos dot x. And remember, these numbers are things I've worked out already, so they'll work for you. So then mouse rel x positive label 01 pos y, and 410. So then mouse rel x negative label 01 pos dot x, a little further to the left, and mouse rel x negative label 01 pos dot y at basically the same height because these are horizontal. Okay, there's the rel x position for positive and negative. So now rel y, mouse rel y, positive label 01 position dot x. Rel y, positive label 01 pos y. And since this is the y-axis, these are going to be vertically above each other, so like a column, so the x values will be the same, and the y values will be different on this one. So the negative y is going to be lower number, that is, because remember 0 is at the top, so this is going to be significantly less than the 502, so 285. So there are those, so we'll save it. So now we've got our positions. So that's that. So now we just need to draw. Got lots of D things here with the dots, so come down to the bottom, but inside the sprite batch end. So we've got our 2 dots and our 4 labels. Now the dots are not strings, they're images, so they'll use sprite batch dot draw, not draw strings. So dots x and dots x underscore pos and color. And remember, this is an image which the color does a tinting job, which we don't really want, so we'll set it to white. So then sprite batch dot draw, open paren, dots y, and dots y underscore pos, and then color dot white, and close paren, semicolon. Now we need to draw out our 4 labels, so there they are, making the positive ones green, negative ones red. Kind of goes along with the images. Get rid of our extra lines. We'll save it. And now the moment of truth. See if it works. And there we go. Okay. So goes along with the numbers, maybe a little more visible. Even though the dots are dancing a little bit, you can kind of tell about where they are. So that's good. Got our columns here. Everything's looking good. We'll close it. And that's it for now.